Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. The fall is officially upon us. Fall 2015 sports seasons have gotten underway at McKendree University in the form of preseason practice, and we're joined by McKendree football coach Mike Babcock. Coach, the first week of practice is under your belt. Give me your general impressions of what you've seen so far out of your squad.
I've seen some good things. I really have. You know, I've seen guys battling. The biggest thing is just the intensity that they're bringing to practice. You know, we're really trying to force the fact that champions are made, in the trenches. And really fall camp is, there's no bigger trench than fall camp. So we want guys to push hard. We want guys to battle every practice like it's you're playing the championship team. And guys have really done that. So I'm very pleased about that.
One of the good things, you've had a lot of veterans returning for this year's squad. A lot of guys have been through the battles the last couple of years, and with a good mix of freshmen and young players coming in. Talk about how they've meshed so far in that first week of practice.
Well, it's nice because now guys that have been here for a while have seen it done before, so it's not new to them. Yes, guys are hurt. Yes, guys are tired, but at the same point, it's fall camp, and those older guys are really grabbing a hold of those young guys and kind of bringing them forward. And I think that throughout the years, it'll continue to get better and better and better because the intensity will continue to pick up, the level of talent will hopefully continue to pick up, and hopefully those young guys can see that if we want to be champions, it's got to get done now.
Offensively, Bearcats returning 8 starters on that side of the ball. A lot of guys have got some preseason hype with Isaac Fisher, Cameron James up front on the line with Derek Starrett. Talk about how those guys have stepped up so far and what you expect of those guys this season.
All of those guys have had a great off season. Isaac Fisher, Cameron James, they've really been busting their butt in everything that they do, and have really kind of come out with that focus that we are going to be better. We are going to win football games and have that type of mentality, and it's kind of nice because it's been rubbing off on a lot of the other guys. Has everything been perfect? No, but that's why we're in our first week of camp. But at the same point, getting to that level of execution, the high level of execution, and the consistency of it, hopefully we can continue that and continue to move forward with it.
Defensively, no lack of talent or experience either. Lucky Barr, who had an All-American season last year. Defensive end on the opposite side, Brett Pearman, an All-Conference player from 2 years ago. Then in the middle at linebacker, A.J. Wentland leading that group. A lot of veteran presence on the defensive side as well.
Absolutely. I think up front, especially our front seven, there's a lot of experience. There's a lot of guys that have been playing in games. And so it's exciting, and it makes us better when guys like Lucky Barr and Brett Pearman have to go against someone like Derek Starrett in practice. It makes both sides better, and that's what's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch these guys grow up a little bit. It's been fun to watch these guys now all of a sudden take on a leadership role. Now they're the upperclassmen. Now they're the ones that time is running out on. So they feel that clock ticking a little bit, and I think they're excited to get after it this year as well. So I'm very excited to see how those guys do.
You talked a lot about the fire of this team. The young guys especially help fueling that fire. Have there been any surprises so far in the first week of camp with the newcomers that have come in?
Well, it's always hard. Everyone expects that college football is going to be easy when they first come in, and I think the first 24 hours is always that culture shock to them. So, but freshmen have started to settle down a little bit. They started to get in the groove. They started to understand what we're trying to teach them. There's a couple guys, offensively, there's Daquan Dudley, is doing a nice job for us. Joel Van Allen from Simeon High School, offensive lineman, very smart kid, very bright. I think he's got a great future ahead of him. Even Blake Holsey's doing a nice job at quarterback right now. Taking some good reps. So offensively, those guys are doing pretty well. Defensively, there's guys like Josh Cole, playing in the back half right now, who's doing well. Jared Whitaker, those guys have been playing well. Michael Ford from Georgia, he's a linebacker. Caden Cooper, also from Georgia, same high school, very good friends, both of them coming in, both of them have done well. So I like this freshman class, I really do. I think they're a tight-knit group, and that's really what you want, especially when they know they're going to be playing with each other for the next 4 years.
I know in talking to you in the past, you've talked about getting ready in stages for the season. first stage basically out of the way, getting newcomers adjusted, getting everybody sort of on the same page, so to speak. But now you've had a week into camp, a little more than 2 weeks away from the first football game of the season against College of Faith on September 5th. What is the next phase of getting ready for the regular season?
Well, really, these next 4 or 5 days are basically finishing up camp. The physicality of camp. You're trying to break your team down and get them to be well conditioned to execute the plays. And then, following up, the next week and a half, it's going to start coming into more game planning, more mental, more execution. What's going to be the game plan against College of the Faith? What are the things that we're going to do that might be different that game week as opposed to this week? So it's an exciting time. We still got a couple days left to bang them and run around, a couple more double days. So better keep at it.
Coach, I know it's a busy time of year for you. Thanks for taking time to join us, and we'll catch up with you next week after the second week of camp.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Scott.
Don't forget, you can follow all things McKendree football as well as the rest of our athletic programs at www.mckbearcats.com.